car should have, because how many of us have enough outlets anywhere, like home, car, everywhere? We're all looking for more ways to power our devices and the things that keep us connected. This is a converter that converts your DC voltage, which I always knew was like the cigarette lighter port in the car. So if you're like, what is the DC? It's like that cigarette lighter thing. It converts it into AC power. So you plug this in. Now you can use a 3-prong plug in your car. You also get a USB port and a USB-C port, which I know sometimes like newer cars have that USB port, but many don't have a USB-C port, or you might only have one or two and you need to charge more than one or two things, especially if you're taking that road trip, if you're tailgating, if you have that career where you're on the go. Our clearance sale price brings yours home for under $27. On Easy Pay, you're looking at $5.40 a month. V56513 is your item number. There's just one color choice. It's the orange, and our $19 savings expires at the end of the show, which is in about 40 minutes. Scott Hine is joining us. He's one of our do-it-yourself experts, brings us lots of great innovative products. Hi, Scott. Nice to see you again.
So very good to see you, Vanessa. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good, good. So, you know, you hit the nail on the head. It gives you that extra boost of power. And, you know, I always laugh because David Venable says it's so great when it comes to computers. He always says, you never wish you had less storage. Well, I would say the same thing applies to power. You never wish you had less power. And this is how you know that you have all the power you need when and where you need it. Because like you said, and you and I are the same way, it's a cigarette lighter. You can call it 12 volt, you can get anything you want. It's a cigarette lighter, we know that. So you plug it into your cigarette lighter, but that's a 12 volt power. You want to flip it, that's, you know, a DC power, like you said. You want to flip it to AC power. That's exactly what this does. Now, I can't be outside in the car because it's too cold for my cameras. So I'm inside here. Unfortunately, I don't have something to plug it into. But the point of it is you plug it in your cigarette lighter. Now, all of a sudden, as you're showing there, you have 3 different outlets. You have a 120 volt regular plug. You have a USB-C and a regular USB. So that means you can power up a whole bunch of things off of one outlet in your car.
Off of one outlet, which, Scott, I mean, sometimes you're like, okay, I already have a USB port in my car, but how often are you maybe taking that road trip and someone's using it, and now what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You don't have another one. This gives you another one.
Yeah, you're seeing it there. So maybe someone who travels for work a lot, or just you take road trips. The kids want to plug in a bunch of different things. And even newer cars have outlets, but it seems like you never have enough. But when you have the Armor All inverter, you could take one outlet and turn it into 3, and 3 outlets that you'll use. So maybe it's, you know, the games, like you said, the video games, or powering up your iPad, your iPhone, your PC, your laptop, whatever you need to power up, this will do it for you. So it converts that power and puts it into a level that you can use.
And think about, like, maybe it's not you, but if you know a niece, a granddaughter, a sister, they have a career on the go. Before I was here at QVC, I was a news reporter, and we only have outlets in the live trucks. And I know it would annoy the photographer sometimes because no one wants to drive that huge live truck around. But if I knew we'd be out all day, I'd be like, do you mind driving the live truck? Because I'm gonna need an outlet for my laptop or whatever it is. Now you have the ability to plug things in to your car, because this converts that cigarette lighter into a plug and two USB ports. Or even, Scott, tailgating, which I know it's cold for game days, like this weekend. But if you are doing any tailgating in the coming weeks and months or years even, because this is something that you'll use time and time again, now you can actually plug something in.
That's right. I mean, we just literally watched the Chiefs finish off the Dolphins. NFL playoffs are here.
Oh, the Dolphins lost?
They're pretty substantially, unfortunately. Yeah,
that's my husband's team. That's why I was like,
oh. I'm sorry. Tell him I'm sorry. It was extraordinarily cold in Kansas City. It was like -24, no joke. So I thought they were in a start. But if you're at that tailgate, you can plug in a TV that will run here. Maybe your iPad, your iPhone. So you see here again, I'm not plugged in because I can't be outside because it's too cold here as well. But look what you have. So here's the plug, the 120 volt plug for the computer, okay? Here's the USB-C for the iPad. Here is the regular USB plugged into a lightning for my iPhone. All 3 of these are plugged into just here, which this cord will plug into your cigarette lighter, as you see right there. So it converts one outlet into three. You could run a little fan. You can run all kinds of things. Like you said, tailgate's a great answer, or just going on the road when you need that extra power for the kids. No better way to do it.
Absolutely. Or I'm thinking too, like, if you go to like the drive-in, I'm trying to get my Mr. Vanessa to take me back to the drive-in. It's far away. He's not very much into it. But if you have like a little device or something you want to plug in, like maybe like a heated blanket or something, or heating pad or whatever, like you could do that, plug it in here, because now you have the plug. V56513 is your item number. If you do have 2 of those DC voltage outlets, which many of us know as a cigarette lighter, at this price, if you want to pick up one for maybe the front or the back, you could absolutely do that. It's under $6 a month with that monthly payment plan, and this price expires at the end of the show. It's a $19 savings that's only with us for the next 34 minutes. So call us now to place your order, 800-500-7590. And then, Scott, we didn't really talk too much about it, but you do get the USB Type-C port on this as well, which, I mean, I just know my car, and I don't have like a fancy like 2024 car. I don't have a Type-C port. I have a USB port in my car, but not a Type-C. I don't know if cars do.
No, that's an amazing point. I'm sure some high-end fancy cars that you and I don't drive do, but I don't know ones that have USB-C. So I do like that converter, because this is a newer iPad, and it is USB-C only. So you do need that. So you get one of each. That's what I really like. You get the regular USB, USB-C, and the 120-volt plug-in. You know, you're talking about being in news. Your photog probably needed to charge the batteries for his camera.
Yes.
If he had one of these, you know, that's a plug-in. So there's a bunch of things that are plug-in, like PCs. Apple, you know, Apple computers, Apple PCs, you can plug in USB-C, but regular PCs, you can't. So, you know, right there, that alone is a way to run your laptop computer when you're on the road, when you need that power, keep it charged up, do the work that you need to do. And again, it's just easy. It stores in your glove box, super simple. And by the way, it's from Armor All. That's a name you've known and trusted in the automotive world for a very long time. You know, when you're getting Armor All products, you're getting good products.
And now there's no fighting over the outlets. Like, everyone can have an outlet to do what they need to do. We have 700 to go around. This is a price that's gone at the end of the show. We have 32 more minutes for that savings of $19, and it's bringing you more power in your car. And also, unless you have like one of those fancy cars, how many of us have a plug in our car? I know I don't have a plug in my car. So if there's something I want to plug in, I'm out of luck. Like, there's no way to do it unless you're able to convert that DC, which most of us call like the cigarette lighter. I didn't know what that DC meant for a long time, Scott. I would see things like the DC port. I'd be like, what is that?
Direct current, alternate current. Yeah. But you know, it doesn't matter. You don't need to know. All you know is it's the old school cigarette lighter. You know, like and people, for some reason, you know, when smoking was okay back in the day, there was an actual cigarette lighter, and that would light people's cigarettes. Good Lord, you know, you think about it now, that's awful. But back in the day, that was it. But now it's a source of power. And even the newest cars still have those DC, the 12-volt outlets, the cigarette lighters, because they're a good source of power right off the battery. So, right, you know, like you're showing right there, you plug that in and it converts into 3 outlets. And it's the 3 things you need to charge. Like I said, you see it here. It's your iPhone, your iPad, your laptop. These are all 3 things that you would love to have charged when you're on the road, when you're going somewhere. Plug right into here, easy to go. It sits nicely too, because there's grips on the back. So it sits in the center console. So when you're not using it, you can store it in your glove compartment, but when it sits in the center console, you're good to go. You plug everything right in. And because the cord's nice and long, you can stretch it from the front to the back. So if the kids, like you said, kids don't have to fight over it, plug it. A lot of times, that's where the new 12-volt outlet's located. But the cord's long enough that you can plug it in there, but still stretch it to the back seat so the kids have power.
Thank you, Scott. It was great to see you, and thanks for the update on the game. So, coming up, a little